brings us
Oh,
closer to
and there's
our
also a rift in the hangar. An experimental byproduct, as it were. I would avoid interacting with it, lest you alert Valancourt to our ploy.
enough. Incomplete information leads to inaccurate predictions, which lead to tragedies. We must not guess. We must know. Let us know.
Dr. Hurley, pleasant as I find your company, I must ask you to vacate the area at once. Ah, here's our little sprat now. Be assured, after I deal with my traitorous subordinate here, you're next.
Traitor? If anyone's a traitor here...
You'll die now, burglar.
Enemy in vicinity.
At ready status. Commander, you're waiting! Ask for help, but...
Replenishing my firearm!
Unit away. Standing by to stupefy. Not exactly up for that right now. They've been numb. Locking them down. Back in business.
Return to that original vision, asking him to join her with entities. Together, they will establish a perfect society devoted to humanity's ascension.
Unfriendly nearby.
With its paltry resources. So began our set, the Order of the Ascendant, steadfast in our crusade to solve the universal equation in Arcadia. And that, to answer your listener's query, is why we are here.
If you're feeling anxious about what's next, just wait. Things to come have a way of constantly happening. The future is colliding with the present every moment.
Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical...
Now that you have the Rift modulator, any previously inaccessible rifts could be worth revisiting. Rifts may contain useful equipment and resources. However, due to the chaotic nature of reconstitution, some creative problem-solving may be required in reaching them.
Hello. Come here often. Goodbye. This unit, enjoy. Our banter.
How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I? 4, 4, 5, 9, 2, 3, 0, 7, 8. 1, 6, 4, 0, 6, 2, 8, 6, 2, 0, 8. 9, 9, 8. 6, 2, 8, 0, 3, 4, 8, 2, 5, 3, 4, 2, 1. How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I? How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I?
Looks like a fight.
How many
Lay low, Commander. Medics order. Fix me up. I'd do it for you.
Savage. All Savage packaging is approved by the charismatic
Order of we are molecular machines, our bodies are organs. Our minds are a result of chemical reactions. Our lives along paths.
The color of space. Chromospectral analysis. When asked about the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Odescard replied, with no hesitation, beige. To experienced astronomers, his answer was the expected one. But I can already hear the obtuse listener bleating with their faces into a rictus of ignorance.
Thank you, dear.
Wouldn't the average color be black or simply a shade of gray?
Look alive, Commander. You're looking pretty scathed, Commander.
Which answers the ancillary mystery
Medical
of why
pack,
there
out!
are no green stars. To understand this, you must understand the basics of thermal divarication emission field.
Go for
A
torpification.
piece of non-heated matter absorbs most electromagnetic radiation that falls upon it. The visible part of that reflection is its color. However, most stellar objects generate far more radiation than they absorb, so they can be modeled as an idealized color, which is assumed to absorb 100% of all electromagnetic radiation and re-emit some
Commander,
based on
throwing
its
energy your way.
composition. Stellar composition determines how light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines the frequency of light and hence what portion of the spectrum that light is. Temperature emission is mostly infrared and not visible to us without proper instrumentation, which I need not describe here. As the stellar body's temperature increases,
Torpificator is charged.
invisible light through red into orange, then yellow, then white. Even rare blue stars exist. These are the hottest stars, emitting mostly blue and invisible ultraviolet light. So why are there no green stars, you wonder?
That was definitely something.
Time to earn the title to the Mike Marginal Standard.
What if I must? Disregard any star emitting green light also emits bluish and/or reddish light,
please!
resulting in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar composition that emits solely packets of green light. In fact, such a composition itself would constitute evidence for intelligent interference. No such evidence of any kind has ever been detected.
Forever vigilant.
Let's
There
get back
you
to
are.
Newton-Odiscar, the famous stellar
For our
photographer.
beneficent
The
leader.
methodology of the Odiscard's monospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids. As black would only dim the color and not change its fundamental hue. The light from every galaxy,
Anyone else? Here, a medic?
quasar was gathered and fed into a central tabulator for computation. The subsequent spectral analysis produced a final answer to its value. And that result was beige. More specifically, in the cylindrical coordinate model of color
Through his
space,
beneficent
the hue
guidance.
is 42 degrees, while the saturation is near 9%, and the value is a full 100%. In more novice terms, while the color tends towards white, the addition of a variety of reds and some blues results in a more beige tone. And there you have it.
Restoring the balance.
So go forth, neophytes, and as you study your lessons, stare at the nondescript walls of the library, classroom, or dormitory facility, and exult in the knowledge that beige is also the color of the universe.
Through his...
Next, the latest big data, forecasts, and relevant informational details for near present and future calculations. We hope this transmission finds you analytically industrious, esteemed colleagues on Cloister. But might we take a moment to draw your attention to Spyreton? More than a bastion of scientism, Spyreton sits at the Archive's doorstep. Whoever holds it is within spitting probability of controlling the entire analytical planetoid. Just a fact worth noting for the venturesome among you in these uncertain times.
In closing, a potentially incongruent word of advice. Invariably find a way to turn your negatives into positives.
Further beneficial content soon follows. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
Generating primes, techniques, and uses. Good day and welcome again to Advanced Abstract Algebraics, Section 4, Session 43. Please continue to enjoy the background music, which I have selected today based on its arithmetic-based harmonic progressions. My name is Edmund Vandersmike, and I am the Senior Director of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Mnemonistics for the Order of the
You know,
Ascendant.
there might
Today's
be a
lecture will
goodie or
focus on
two
the
for Val in there.
prime numbers, techniques, and uses thereof. I know. Prime numbers? Why so simplistic? Well, consider this a basic refresher course in remedial mnemonistics for those new to the Order. I will start by explaining what a prime number is, despite the fact that you should have learned that definition decades ago while still in diapers. But no matter. I have been called many things, and repetitious is one of them. I have also been called redundant several times, and once I was called reiterative, if you can believe that. So, prime numbers. What are they? The simplest definition is this. Given the set of natural numbers greater than 1, let's call that set n2, then a prime is any number in the set n2 that is not itself a product of two other numbers in the set n2. A simple definition. Elegant, even. Uplifting. Almost ascendant, you could say. But not redundant. Side note, I am frequently asked why isn't 1 a prime number since nothing can divide it other than itself? And the answer is simple, you silly lay person. Because with such an inclusion to the definition of a prime number, then nothing else would be a prime number. And then what good are prime numbers? Wait, you ask, what good are prime numbers? Why would we want to find and use prime numbers? There are all kinds of abstract number theory applications, and that should and would be sufficient reason to want them. But there are also, how should I say, practical applications, such as maintaining the security of bit cartridges. In fact, our archive uses primes for that reason and many more. The archive incorporates prime numbers for storage and retrieval on its ultra-efficient system of data bricks, as well as using prime numbers in the process of checking its memory stores for corruption, lest its calculations be tainted by such. But if you strive to become a numenistics researcher, there are several open questions in the area of prime number study. One such question is this: is every even member of the set N2 besides 2 a sum of 2 primes? It seems to be so, but no one has ever proven this conjecture. Similarly, are there an infinite number of prime pairs that differ by only 2 in their value? That seems unlikely, but we have been unable to find an upper limit. Perhaps you could discover one of these proofs and become the next senior tenured laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numenistics for the Order of the Ascendant. Such a lofty, and dare I say, elegant goal. Good disquisitions to you all, and good day.
You have tuned your receiver to Grand Plan Wireless. We verify before we amplify. Pinnacle Crabble flavored tea.
You didn't ask for this, but you will.
From the Order of the Ascendant. Never forget.
It's Bizzos, Bizzos, we love Bizzos.
This is Auntie Cleo, offering a warm welcome to all visiting Auntie's Choice employees, affiliates in training, and
Each fulfilling our prescribed role within the grand plan. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
we took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered through artificial means. At Auntie's Choice, we strive to be 110% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Enjoy an artificially enhanced existence through the conspicuous consumption of unavoidable embedded chemicals.
You go on ahead. I'm shilly-shallying about what to do.
Please have identification, transfer work. Ah, you're not a transfer or visiting Auntie's Choice employee. I'll need to check your current standing with corporate affairs. Oh, I didn't realize I was talking to such a big wheel. Afraid I still need to check your... Alrighty. Commencing review. Really? Reads like a reek. You're the questionable sort who we do business with, but you're definitely not our best friend. You should probably consider accepting our special offer. All it requires is allowing us to affix an Auntie's Choice hollow advertorial inside your ship, so you can bear our messaging with pride and share it across Arcadia. Anecdotal feedback from paid experts shows it increases the odds of a ship's crew purchasing Auntie's Choice products by a whopping 11. Splendid. Should be ready next time you're back. Enjoy your time on the ACS Undisputed Claim, the pride of Auntie's Choice corporate war fleet. Here, from there, amble through the Esplanade to the head office tower reception desk. They can contact Vice...
That's it for this bonus report. Until next time, everybody do your jobs and there will be next time. Trabecula, arriving. Approaching station. Client.
Wow, this is first class.
Undisputed claim is not only our corporate headquarters and flagship, it's the heart of our efforts to spread unbridled self-betterment and free trade across the galaxy. Our flagship also sponsors a sunny commercial promenade where you'll find a wide assortment of products, wares, and miscellaneous bric-a-brac from all.
This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes from the audio canal and enriching content.
Hey, you, soldier with the, arm. Got a delivery for an Inez Silong? That you? I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's me, all right. Who is asking, exactly?
Hey, just a courier friend. Nothing funny like. A soldier named Ortiz hired me to find. Couldn't tell you. The client paid extra for complete As a reminder, we don't offer return to sender service unless you pay double plus expediting.
Ugh, ain't heard from Ortiz in months. When we get back to the ship, let's give this a watch.
His infinite wisdom submitted himself to mental refreshment to strengthen his resolve for the good of all. At his command, I, Emery Thoreau, now accept the responsibility of shepherding you through these dark times until our sovereign...
I'm sure this is impressive to someone, but not me.
Oh, hey, think you dropped something?
Announced by the very individual we suspect.
Yeah, you dropped something. Word to the wise. Mind your personal effects, intellectual assets, and major organs at all times. Plenty of opportunists here, eager to take you for all you're worth. You're lucky I found this, thing you dropped. Get me?
Knowledge of the Protectorate's societal structure and our own fraught relationship with Consul Emery Thoreau. Work groups of tenured seers in the Department of Predictive Analysis are calculating likely outcomes of these events. Expect addenda to this report as...
The recipe of our exclusive cocktail is our most closely guarded secret. Our competitors would kill to find out. Can you discern its ingredients? Try the Raptidon Bite today.
Cognitive function.
A thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's Choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of all corporations.
Who do you think's getting this big promotion?
This must be where the head offices are.
She's the more...
It's all right. Stand up tall and act like you belong here.
Attention, morally gray outsider. The adventure of your lifetime awaits. Auntie's Choice is hiring. Hello, daring self-determinativist, stalwart seeker of self-betterment, or rapacious rogue of corporatism. Welcome to Auntie's Choice Esteemed Invaluable Disposable Agent Program. As in IDA, your assignments will be some of the most decisive and admirable tasks that Auntie's Choice has to offer. IDAs help explore the wilds, plot our path, and shape the evolution of our beloved corporation. And with enough rugged determinism, you might even live to see the results. Please don't interrupt or I'll lose my place. So, daring rapscallion, you are making a choice to grab destiny and make it your own. A choice to be Auntie's Choice. Now, if you'll just exit through to your left, 2 of our top 29 vice presidents are waiting to speak with you. And remember, Auntie's Choice Stay Hungry Meal Pack offers our finest pre-sliced bread and dehydrated water tablets in one convenient package for an additional price.
Well, wonderful to meet you. C.F. Pendergrass III, Strategic Reconfiguration. It's not every day we have such a capable operative accept our invitation to the undisputed claim. While it was those ill-fated peace talks that got you here, I've kept tabs on you for a good long time.
Yes, we've all kept tabs. Auntie and I have spoken about you several times now. Ursula Ormsby, Proprietary Insight Acquisition. You'll report to both of us. For now.
Indeed. It is our pleasure to meet you, and I am beyond tickled to welcome you to Auntie's Choice. We need someone not shaped by Auntie's meritocracy. It serves its function, but our workers tend to focus on rung climbing. We need an individualist who sees unorthodox solutions. A daring, non-conforming perturbation ameliorator to implement our monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
More succinctly, we are recruiting an expert outside consultant.
Wonderful! This is the kind of wily adventure in self-determinism you will absolutely not regret. Your first assignment demonstrates some of the very qualities we need. Something unexpected, or in truth, unprecedented, has happened at one of our repackaging facilities on Praetor.
If I understand correctly, they're having, something of a workforce issue. Don't know rightly what you call it. Workers are, well, asking for things. It's strange. They've stopped working. The workers there simply stopped.
They expressed, and I know this is going to sound more than a bit strange, dissatisfaction. And they said they won't return to work unless things at the plant improve.
Specifically, they stated, until we meet their demands. As though employees have a right to demand anything of their employers. And what, pray tell, has them so aggrieved?
Dear law, what a bunch of devious, ungrateful, greedy little prigs! After all the opportunities Auntie's given them to repay us like this, I'm so disappointed.
So what do you suggest we do about such an utterly unheard of situation? It is absolutely imperative that we get those people back to work, whatever it takes.
Such a class of parametric mappings must be made by an objective third-party order to assure non-arbitrary functionality.
Negotiate? As in, give in to some of their demands? Well,
no, Ursula, it won't. That is exactly why we've hired you as my brand new perturbation ameliorator. You'll solve the problem for us, and we will retain absolute deniability. Wonderful. You'll go to Praetor, meet the plant's overseer, and mediate an end to this lunacy, which gets those ingrates back to work.
I have zero doubt Auntie and I will be completely impressed by your efforts. Unless you disappoint, in which case I will disavow that statement.
Consistency playlists is not. Now for a new song.
We were once two separate boys. We had no connection till the end.
I see you decided to accept my invitation. Good. I do hate having to follow up. Ordinarily, reception here would detain you in a whole song and dance, but you're no common contractor. You're my honored guest. I wanted to formalize my gratitude for your assist. What a shame our negotiations were so violently digressed. I felt we were making real progress, notwithstanding a subsection or two. While making our expeditious retreat from the station, Alden and I encountered a dying man. He confessed to Vree's entire plan and that he thought you must have stopped her. Thanks for that, by the way. 2 dead delegates really would have impeded. In fact, that is what I summoned you here to discuss. Some messages have indeed been sent hither and thither through back channels. Alden remains mayhaps we're both overly optimistic, but if there's even the remotest chance of bringing the Order and Auntie's Choice together, the profit from doing so far outweighs the risk. To begin, you'll need to gain favor with both the Order and Auntie's Choice. I expect the Order will do whatever you must to earn an audience with our respective leaders and convince each to agree to meet and continue the negotiations. You're confident, a fine quality, at certain occupational tiers. But mind that you're not over. Obviously, you will need help to smooth over any points of contention during the negotiation, which will require some verbal capital. As I mentioned before, you'll first need to earn an audience with the presiding. When it comes to the Order, approach their laureates. Oh, and you might see about improving your oratory skills in the meantime. Persuade, certainly. Aren't you adorable? Next, you'll be asking me to... What is anyone apart from the function they perform? To wit, I am my job, and I rather think such an esteemed position speaks for itself. If price matters, there's the bottom runger. Dingy little watering hole on the esplanade. Not glamorous, but you won't contract anything fatal. But for a person of means and taste, the best choice is undeniably the finest gin mill on board. They tried to name a drink after me once, you know, but I refused. Too gauche. You'll find the best choice in the upper portion of the promenade. Oh, answering that would come dangerously close to upward communication, which is not something we advocate in Auntie's. Wouldn't want the junior ranks getting the idea that they can review or, law forbid, critique their seniors. Suffice to say, Auntie Cleo is without peer, quite literally. This corporation would be adrift without...
Structurally compelling yet categorically voracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity.
Ascendant anti-morbidic soda. None of the calories with none of the flavor.
From the Order of the Ascendant. An ease-setting witticism to confer to colleagues at break time. The universal equation should maturate more rapidly and solve its own. An ease-setting witticism to confer to colleagues at break time. The universal equation should maturate more rapidly and solve its own problems. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
the feat of engineering to keep a place like this operational.
Oh there. Approach the gate and identify yourself if you're looking for access. Well, of all the improbable sights I'd never imagined to actually see, folks simply wandering around the Badlands of Praetor would be near the top of that list. I've not the mind to solve the equation that demonstrates how unlikely it is you've survived enemy combatants, hostile critters, and endless lightning in near equal measure. Is that so? Amusingly enough, I'm inclined to believe you, which means you might be just the help Exemplar Simon's been waiting for. The grounding station was built to help manage and offset the lightning that illuminates the sky. They also used the station for a number of experiments that they ultimately lacked the capacity to complete. Nevertheless, the Exemplar is in need of help to complete his research, and our small squad lacks the manpower to provide it. But he is in the lab atop the hydraulicalized lift. Ironically, the lift was struck by lightning while there is a trail that leads to the top. Just mind the jump onto the platform, and don't touch anything. And given the situation we find ourselves in, I'll be leaving the gate charged unless you're ready to pass through it. Just to... Should you ever need to exit the station, just approach the gate, and I can open it for you.
I'll take care of him, Commander.
Get me go-getting again.
Don't make me bury another agent! Do you have my back?
As was long since foreordained, that song was requested by the Department of Predictive Analysis and Auspication.
Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
Let's get him over with! Commander, watch your right! Let's wreck him! Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when. The idea is to kill them before you die.
Exactly at the predicted hour, it's another installment of Ask a Vicar with Vicar Maxisai. A listener asks, who was the charismatic mathematician, and why do we call him thus?
Truly an inquiry for the...
Fastest way forward is through! How are you still upright over there?
On my feet.
His lectures were not used in tears, on the verge of mental and of today's question. We must respect mathematician actually taught. Simply ask, and I will answer in a later installment of Ask a Vicar. If you're anxious about what things come have a way of constantly happening.
Traveling at the velocity of light through the vacuum of space on our primary band, this is Grand Plan Wireless, the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. An unfortunate event has transpired. A massive explosion and area Matriarch's Mercy has sent rocky debris raining down upon inhabited areas below. Yet, on a favorable note, this event has positively validated Seer Wiley's exclusion zone predictions. The aforesaid debris landed in the forewarned areas with an 89.3% accuracy. Lamentably, due to an imprudent ministerial decision by Administrator Agarwal, the displaced had been approved to move into these areas. Many were housed there at the time.
So ends this mission.
Beneficial content soon follows. Consistency in work is wonderful. Consistency is not. Now for a new song.
Generating primes, techniques, and uses. Good day and welcome again to Advanced Algebraics, Section 4, Session 43. Please continue to enjoy the background music, which I have selected for you based on its arithmetic-based harmonic progression. My name is Edmund Vandersmythe, and I am the senior tenured laureate of...
Let's get him over with!
I know. Prime numbers? Why so simplistic?
Commander,
well,
watch your vitals!
Consider this a basic refresher in remedial numismatics for those new to the order. I will start by explaining what a prime number is, despite the fact that you should have learned that definition decades ago, while still in diapers. But no matter. I have been called many things, and repetitious is one of them. I have also been called redundant several times, and once I was called reiterative, if you can believe that. So, prime numbers. What are they? The simplest definition is this. Given a set of natural numbers greater than 1, let's call that set, then a prime is any number in the to Advanced Abstract Algebraics, Section 4, Session 43. Please continue to enjoy the background music, which I have selected today based on its arithmetic-based harmonic progressions. My name is Edmund Vandersmythe, and I am the Senior Tenured Laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numenistics for the Order of the Ascendant. Today's lecture is the generation of prime numbers, techniques, and uses thereof. I know. Prime numbers? Why so simplistic? Well, consider this a basic refresher course in remedial numenistics for those new to the order. I will start by explaining what a prime number is, despite I learned that definition decades ago, while still in diapers. But no matter. I have been called many things, and repetitious is one of them. I have also been called redundant several times. Once I was called reiterative, if you can believe that. So, prime numbers. What are they? The simplest definition is this. Given the set of natural numbers greater than 1, let's call that set n2. Then a prime is any number in the set n2 that is not itself a product of two other numbers in the set n2. A simple definition. Elegant, even. Uplifting. Almost ascendant, you could say. But not redundant. Side note, I am frequently asked, why isn't 1 a prime number since nothing can divide it other than itself? And the answer is simple, you silly lay person. Because with such an inclusion to the definition of a prime number, then nothing else would be a prime number. And then what good are prime numbers? Wait, you ask, what good are prime numbers? Why would we want to find and use prime numbers? There are all kinds of abstract number theory applications, and that should and would be sufficient reason to want them. But there are also, how should I say, practical applications, such as maintaining the security of bit cartridges. In fact, our archive uses primes for that reason and many more. The archive incorporates prime numbers for storage and retrieval on its ultra-efficient system of data bricks, as well as using prime numbers in the process of checking its memory stores for corruption, lest its calculations be tainted by such. But if you strive to become a numenistics researcher, there are several open questions in the area of prime number study. One such question is this. Is every even member of the set n2 besides 2 a sum of 2 primes? It seems to be so. But no one has ever proven this conjecture. Similarly, are there an infinite number of prime pairs that differ by only 2 in their value? That seems unlikely, but we have been unable to find an upper limit. Perhaps you could discover one of these proofs and become the next Senior Tenured Laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numenistics for the Order of the Ascendant. Such a lofty, and dare I say, elegant goal. Good disquisitions to you all.
You're about to enter territory controlled by Auntie's choice. Act accordingly, or you'll end up as close friends with the inside of a Raptidon.
Number 1 hit. Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
You know, I reckon half the corpses in here end up as Raptidon chow.
And eventual control of the purple berry parasite. OA archive transcription number 3918-4 begins here. Hello. For the record, my name is Marie de Rothschild, Junior Archivist, Class 4 of the Archives. Today, I would like to talk about irresponsible spread of the purple berry parasite by Auntie's Choice and its numerous subsidiaries and former supernumerary... the rest of the literature. The spread of this parasite includes corresponding...
Saw something like this just before Auntie's Choice took over Talsetti.
I can see the
Didn't end
overseer
well
up
for the
in her
bosses,
office.
I'll tell you that.
We're definitely making her miserable.
With no rest and no downtime, we should for Adrena time!
As is usual for Auntie's Choice.
If you're not a go-getter,
If
then
you
go
won't
away.
let us sleep for 8, you can't jump!
Workers are too rowdy. Door stays shut for now.
Wild on corporate farms and even...
Others get the exact same pay, but only work 12-hour days!
The Purpleberry plant was subsequently spread throughout the colonies due to Auntie's Choice's...
We don't want to make demands, but no more peeing in bottles and cans!
We verify before we amplify.
No more bottles on factory floors! Time for unlocked bathroom doors! We don't want to make demands, but no more peeing in bottles and cans!
A statement with dual meaning. People who hate numbers...
With no rest and no downtime, we shouldn't pay for Adrena time!
Already aware of which song follows. Interested in...
If you won't let us sleep for 8, you can't charge us for stimulates! No more bottles on factory floors! Time for unlocked bathroom doors!
Yes? The whole reason we set up here is to avoid customers. See that repackaging facility down there? We're supposed to be working it, slaving away for a few meager bits that we then gotta use to... They work us like cysty pigs, charge us for the stems we need to yoke those hours, and don't let us relieve ourselves but in empty fizzy tea bottles we keep beneath our stations. So, we're making trouble until that changes. Until we get some respect. Until the privy is left open all day. Can't imagine what. Ain't like you could fix all of Auntie's Choice's hierarchy by your own self. I don't think you could even change this one dumpish overseer ruining our lives. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Complex equation.
This ain't like any negotiation I ever been a part of. Not that I've been part of many.
Quantity of x squared plus y squared minus 1.
Machines have been off for a week. Can't believe what I'm losing on Adrena time and Antifizzo's Numrum. Welcome to Auntie's Fine Product Revitalization Center, where we create tomorrow's brands today. I assume you are the disruption ameliorator from home office? It was about damn time you got here. This labor stoppage has put us almost a full week behind schedule and is making me look quite the fool. Unsophisticated, impertinent, dim-witted. You'll fit right in with my peons. So, maybe it'll make sense to you when they babble about basic dignity and human rights. It should go without saying that such flights of fantasy have no place inside Auntie's Choice. And if we were still in Tau Ceti, they would face grave consequences.
I reckon she's got her wires crossed. Basic dignity is what Auntie's Choice promised us when we signed up, so long as we were good at our work. And while we might have faced grave consequences back on Tau Ceti, it was under old management, who were trounced rather thoroughly in the end, I might add.
Nevertheless, here, we must focus on getting these ingrates back to work and remind them that they're damn lucky to have Auntie's Choice to dedicate their lives to.
And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
What? No, that would never... Well, actually whipping them might keep them awake and on task better than the adrena time we give them. Why, the nerve you have. I am running this facility because I am an invaluable resource, because I am indispensable to Auntie's efforts. As a managerial administrativist, and when I say I, it is critical that you understand that, as director of this facility, I should effectively be treated as though I were an executive. Is that clear? Well, there's no call for rudeness. It's unnecessary, unprofessional, and distracts us from the important business that I have the direct authority to dispatch you upon. This plant relabels dated items with new Auntie's Choice trademarks and slogans. It is critical to keeping revitalized products on the shelf for consumers hungry for something new. So, the workers may be unhappy, but they must realize their comfort is a distant second to Auntie's delivery schedule. Or in short, they need to get back to work. My workers are striking people now? How very alarming. We must resolve this before things get even further out of hand. They've appointed some kind of leader, and he's the one you have to talk to. His name is, Dummy? No, that's not right. Dunce? Dummer. Dumbly? Dunbar. It's Dunbar. If I'm honest, my gaze is purely focused up. I am a very important upper, middle, lower manager, and the way I advance that status scantily, and their value is in providing their minuscule contribution to this mighty and prestigious corporation. And by providing their maximal effort, they allow me to ascend, vacating this position so that one of their undistinguished masses can fill it, thereby becoming... Well, that's all fine and good in your system. But here in Arcadia, it is Auntie's needs we cater to. And right now, I believe he has demands, but I can't be bothered to remember what they were. You will find him up on the landing pad with some of his minions. Go help him understand the situation so everyone can get back to work. That clear? Yes, well, I'm sure you'll manage. Auntie has faith in you, therefore I shall too. Best of luck to you. Remember that your actions don't just reflect on you, you are also representing me, which is to say, you are also representing Auntie. Do us proud. Welcome back, Amelia. Did you make contact with workers? Well,
Others get the exact same pay, but only work 12-hour days! Others get the exact same pay, but only work 12-hour days! No more bottles on factory floors! Time for unlocked bathroom doors!
At the velocity of light through the vacuum of space.
We don't want to make demands, but no more peeing in bottles and cans!
Informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism.
Heads up! Make some space! We've got a sanctioned, non-employee professional caller
With
coming
no
up!
rest and no downtime! We shouldn't pay for adrena time!
Rescreening of Vicar Magsaysay's presentation.
Welcome to Zeranium and You, a brief accounting of this crucial material. Though minute amounts...
I ain't aiming to seem rude, but I got a lot to deal with right now. Unless this is mighty important, I'll respectfully ask to be left to my business. Settle my complaints? How exactly you planning that?
But it's not without its dangers, and lower risk, efficient utilization took time. Zeranium in its liquid state is volatile.
And he's got to prioritize worker prosperity over productivity. What we've got now is, poor, labor retention techniques? What's going on Remind me again?
An inhospitable occupational environment that ignores worker safety and health concerns.
Right, that.
Jeopardous methodological experiments with extraction.
Right. Exactly. The conditions under which Anti extracts our labor is, unacceptable. They're egregious, even.
They work 20-hour shifts, which require stims to endure that are charged at a premium. Adrena time is actually cheaper on the undisputed claim than it is here. And if that inhuman brutality isn't enough to offend basic decency, they're also barred from using the restroom throughout the business day. Their 20-hour business day. It is an unconscionable condition to keep these workers in. I can't imagine how hard it is for them to coordinate their daily duties. No, I'm just a fellow underling suffering the corporate grind who saw the plight of these poor folk and needed to help them make a fair and reasonable deal.
That's right. Leo has been an absolute wealth of what's what. Without him, we would...
Under the yoke of oppressive undervaluation...
Right, that.
Me? Why, my only motivation is...
Now hold it right there. We aren't here to talk about Leo. We're here to talk about what it's going to take to make us get back to work, right? Our shifts need to be reduced to 12 hours a day. 4 hours of personal time ain't even enough to rest, much less get any actual living done. Second, if we gotta work those long hours, we want free Adrena time. Bad enough it's making everything taste like we're gnawing nickel pads. Having to pay for the pleasure's too far. Finally, we want all-day bathroom access. Expecting us to fit our necessities into the same 4 hours is just mean. Plus, between us, most folk ain't, if you get my meaning. Yeah, well, of course you're gonna find it all ridiculous. You'll...
If you won't let us sleep or ain't, you can't charge us for stimulating!
Welcome back, Amelia. Auntie and I continue to have high hopes that you will come to shine under the spotlight of our illustrious. So, what are these ingrate alley sprats willing to settle for? Golden privies and gilded sheets to be spoon-fed crunch whenever their tummies rumble? 8-hour workdays? They want to relieve themselves on company time? I've never heard something so preposterous. Can you imagine how many bits that loss of productivity will cost us? What if they lounge? What if they take time to relax? What if they retreat to indulge their baser urges? Auntie would be paying for all manner of unprofitable shenanigans. Oh my. You're probably right. It's been so long since I've shared. What more do they want? 12 hour? Are they mad? I am, frankly, disappointed you would even bring me such a preposterous demand. You should have nipped this offensive arrogance in the bud. I suppose that's true. It wouldn't take much to put enough pep in their proverbial step to make up for 2 lost hours. That would translate into more profit for the plant, which means larger bonuses from me. All right, you've convinced me. What else do they want? Free? Free? Giving Giving something away for free is akin to ignoring the cost of its creation, which is one small step from the system completely breaking down, and more work means more profit. More than enough to cover the cost of the stims. I see your angle now, and it's certain. Is there more, they ask? Very good. Ha! I was going to say very good.
With no rest and no downtime, we shouldn't pay for Adrena time!
Hello again. Do you have news for us about the negotiations? That's as fine a place to start as any. What did that tyrant have to say for herself? Well, I can't begin to tell you what a relief that is. A most promising development. How go the other hurdles of the nego? She willing to see reason? Free? Really? Why, I'd surely have lost that bet. What's next? Excellent. What progress have you made? Well, that certainly is disappointing. But I suppose we'll manage. And well, you have done exceptionally well by us, my—
Damn! I really felt like I was close to signing all of you, and I needed that recruitment bonus. I don't know how but I'll get him next time. And he won't always have you working her ankles for her. And her usual—
Next time? Against you?
Yeah.
It don't matter. All that matters is— Now, if you'll
Going back to work under Auntie's choice ain't exactly my idea of success, but at least I'll have better terms to labor under now.
To an important ministerial decision by Administrator Agarwal, the displaced had been approved to move into these areas. Many were housed there at the time.
In closing, a potentially incongruent word of advice. Invariably find a way to turn negatives into positives.
Continuing as predetermined. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
Probability and the grand plan. There can be no discussion of the grand plan without also entertaining a deep contemplation of probability. Our ability to predict events to varying degrees of certainty is fundamentally rooted in statistical mathematics. Statistics, at top, is not but data. Data that is gathered, collated, and subjected to analysis. But what is the role?
The workers have returned and production has resumed. Wonderful work. I have already informed the Home Office, and with it, put in an extra. You may tell the executives that
It will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance. But are there really 2 outcomes? Is there not one specific outcome we can determine? Yes. With complete information, there can be no chance. Only outcome. Complete information yields perfect predictions. 100% accuracy. Known outcomes. Now we come to one of the most difficult concepts in the order for initiates to grasp. If the result of the flip of a coin is known to be heads, is it necessary to flip the coin? Would it not be more efficient to simply go forward as if it had been flipped and proceed with whatever action that flip was intended to choose? If so, what part of that choice?
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander.
The answer, of course.
Oh, help, Commander.
Instead, we are still forced to deal in probability, expected values, and standard. 100% accuracy. Known outcomes. Now we come to one of the most difficult concepts in the order for initiates to grasp. If the result of the flip of a coin is known to be heads, is it necessary to flip the coin? Would it not be more efficient to simply go forward as if it had been flipped and proceed with whatever action that flip was intended to choose? If so, what part of that choice was ever left to chance? The answer, of course, is none. Only when there is less than complete information are we reduced to chance. At present, we do not have complete information. Instead, we are still forced to deal in probabilities, expected values, and standard deviations, which lead to the dreaded sigma of probability distributions. By necessity, we are forced to estimate outcomes based on assumed distributions of sample populations. Such a travesty. No, not a travesty. Tragedy. A horror. A horror the archive will help us avoid. Every bit of data collected, analyzed, and input by our archivists brings us closer to our goal, to the solving of the universal equation. Probability is not enough. Guesses are not enough. Incomplete information leads to inaccurate predictions, which lead to tragedies. We must not guess. We must know. Help us know. Contribute any and all data you can collect to our proud archivists. And you, too, can say you contributed to the archive.
You have tuned your receiver to Grand Plan Wireless. We verify before we amplify. A statistically significant number of scientists agree. Vinculum flavor drops are qualitatively advantageous. Help your food taste better together with Vinculum from the Order of the Ascendant. In times of peril, remind yourself, contentment is found by accepting your role in the grand plan. Understanding your place, knowing your course, removes all worry and doubt. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
To wait for Niles. Your arrival cannot be more timely. After the events of Paradise Island, I could think of no one more suited to conduct a surgical strike of this nature. I'm, glad to see you again as well, Niles.
Gotta say you had me worried. The message you sent sounded serious.
Then I composed it accurately. To the task at hand. We are standing before the tomb of the matriarch. Few are invited to tour its halls, and even fewer know of its greatest secret.
Protectorate's not exactly known for subtlety.
For any subject, visiting the matriarch and First Sovereign's resting place is the pinnacle of empty social achievement. But the tomb's corpses are its least important feature. The intelligence my friends risked all to acquire revealed a vault in its lowest level containing the matriarch's body of work, hidden from the public. Who knows what technologies the Protectorate is withholding? If the matriarch was the genius she's purported to be, the skip drive cannot be the entirety of her inventions. I would not put it past the Protectorate to disrespect their dead by tucking weapons in along whatever technological advancements may be sequestered here. The goal, but not for much longer. We are going to liberate any and all of the Matriarch's research, whatever it may be, and distribute it to the Reaching the vault will be no simple task. There are likely to be unforeseen security. We must first gain entry to the security room, however. Once there, I should be able to access more information about the
I can see a half-dozen points of failure, but...
Glad we're operating under the... We're unlikely to have another chance like this. We must follow through now that we've made the opening. Which also means, once inside, we cannot leave until it's done. They'll be taking up strategic positions to guard the entrance. We'll move more swiftly in fewer numbers. After you. Stay close and keep silent. The less attention we draw, the better. By the Matriarch, there weren't supposed to be visitors today. That Sentinel and Dosage are gonna put splinters in our plan if they're not dealt with.
You hang back here. The Commander and I'll take care of this.
Gladly. I'll rejoin you once the path is clear.
To have the matriarch taken from us before her time.
Actually, the matriarch passed us later.
I now present to you my new invention, the Skip Drive, a revolutionary technology that will allow humanity to sojourn to the stars.
Only a singular mind could have conceived of such advanced technology.
It is my deepest wish to entrust the Skip Drive to those brave visionaries willing to follow me into a most prosperous future.
Yes, so wise matriarch, lead us into this future you have envisioned.
This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension. Truncated courtesies. I bear a dispatch of great noteworthiness. Our former Protectorate colleagues have undergone a radical leadership shift. I submit this recorded announcement, intercepted from a Protectorate wireless broadcast, as empirical evidence.
Subjects, listen well. Days ago, our beloved sovereign, in his infancy, submitted himself to mental refreshment to strengthen his resolve for the good of all. At his command, I, Emery Thoreau, now accept the responsibility of shepherding you through these dark times until our sovereign's blessed return. I shall not take this duty lightly.
There you have it, an objectively momentous turn of Protectorate events, announced by the very individual we suspect orchestrated it. Just a theory, but the data supports it. Rigorous analysis of the consul's voice inflection reveals telltale signs of deception. We estimate with a 48% certainty that the Protectorate has undergone a coup. Certainly not unexpected, given our knowledge of the Protectorate's societal structure and our own fraught relationship with Consul Emery Thoreau. Work groups of tenured seers in the Department of Predictive Analysis are calculating likely outcomes of these events. Expect addenda to this report as they develop.
End message with an emphatic sign-off such as, "You'll never be sad when you have solutions."
Set course for Arcadia. In my new colony, we will abandon the illness of corporatism. None will suffer for the pleasure of unseen overlords. And all will thrive. Everything in accordance with the grand paradigm. Set course for Arcadia. In my new colony, we will abandon the illness of corporatism. None will suffer for the pleasure of unseen overlords. And all will thrive. Everything in accordance with the grand paradigm.
To Grand Plan Wireless, Arcadia's voice of reason. And now for some ageless wisdom from an academic so in touch with today's inquisitive laypeople youth. Time for Ask a Vicar with Vicar Magsaysay. The charismatic mathematician is always a popular topic. To wit, a listener asks, what's this about the mathematician and his propensity for questionable...
A bold query. Yet we do not shy from our founder's flaws. Yes, the charismatic mathematician did have feet of clay. For one, he was...
Never again will we see her equals.
It has been
disrupted.
Shattering humanity's ascending principles. Nor do they associations with entities outside this
Taken care of. We can continue. Wait there. I'll come to you.
And now you know, but no one knows everything yet. Have another inquiry about our order you're bursting to ask? Leave your query at your local predictory post-haste.
I'll handle. My turn. There should be a hidden entrance here.
The number has been conclusively proven to promote cognitive function.
The security room that we need to reach is nearby. We should be able to disable that
Who goes? No one is allowed in here without the proper authorization. Ah,
I see you have come armed. Intruders, then.
Damn, the head curator. I had hoped to slip in before his shift, but no matter. We cannot allow him to leave and raise the alarm. He must be dispatched, quickly.
How's that now?
Now hold on. I know we had to kill that fella with the Sentinel, but this man's unarmed. He's already surrendered.
I rather think that line has some blurry distinction.
How much of a fuss could this one fella cause, really? Come on, Zeb. No need to cut any bellies over maybes and ifs.
Please, if secrecy's your concern, you may rely upon me to be the utmost spirit of discretion. I have never betrayed a confidence in my life.
Allowing him to leave would be a grave error of mercy, one we can ill afford in this place.
Yes, right. I have a family. Well, no, not a...
Do not allow these crabbled tears to fool you. This is all a performance. This man is an instrument of empire, perpetuating the tyrant's lie.
I'm kin to the risks.
Are you? Can you even fathom the indignity of having your... My sister was made into a shadow. I endured daily sessions with the lathe of particularity and still find myself policing my own mind for untoward proclivities and inclinations.
The commander's right. This man didn't put you in the lathe, Zeb. He's just trapped in the system, same as everyone else.
I never have possessed immunity against your pleading. Fine, you're free to leave. Do not repay this kindness with treachery.
You are merciful and wise. I will depart at once.
Let's hope the consequences of this decision do not assert themselves. You and Niall should turn off the power to the security barrier and make your way to the vault.
Of this fatal attraction. This fatal attraction. This fatal attraction.
Broadcasting cognitive resonance across Arcadia, this is Grand Plan Wireless. Welcome to another installment of Ask a Vicar with Vicar Mag Sai. A recent inquiry: why do I hear order product advertisements from the same voices denouncing Auntie's Choice rampant commercialism?
Good question. I'd say the place we differ...
No going back from here. Not until we've done what we came here to.
Well, our overall philosophy, the way we view everything. They believe in profit above all else. Strive for the ascendance of all humanity through the solution of the universal equation. The difference could hardly be greater. So, while we might share methods from time to time, such as the distribution of goods in our case, to help others ascend to greater heights, we could hardly be more dissimilar.
Do you have an inquiry about our order you're bursting to ask? Drop us a message at your local predictory. Keep put, much is left to come. Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper, something your fractions should never be.
3.14159265353589. 9793238462.
In spite of substantial efforts to prolong his life, my father's condition continues to deteriorate, both physically and mentally. It has been difficult to observe. His latest effort would see him entombed within an automechanical body. I objected, of course, to my father becoming some chimera of machine and man, but was overruled. Now the Order informs me that, far from being a panacea, this attempt has exacted a toll on my father that is likely to finish what time and disease have
Over here, Commander.
begun.
I reckon I found something that might be useful later.
And if that bears out, I will need to hide all of this. burn all of my father's research into longevity. Seal his auto-mech body away at the factory. What grief I will inherit. What mess.
How many numbers am I?
Have a look, Commander. With a little elbow grease and some inadvisable engineering, reckon I can finagle these components into a fine explosive gel. Who knows? Could come in handy. Just doing my part. But let's keep on. I'll continue tinkering on this.
4 4 5 9 2 3 0 7
We've made it through. Good. Now there should be 3 switches in this room. When pulled in the correct order, the door should open. If I'm reading this right, the order is 1, 3, 2. But which switch corresponds to which number? Ah, damn it. Why must the Protectorate abstract everything?
Let's see if we can't suss out which switch is which before we commit to guessing. Keen as I am to avoid another defibrillation. Maybe if we could peep the wiring.
How many numbers am I? How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I? How many numbers am I?
As was long since foreordained, that song was requested by the Department of Predictive Analysis and Ossification.
Next up, well, the seers among you already know.
The color of space, a chromospectral analysis. When asked about the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Otisgard replied,
Does that seem a little off to you, Commander?
beige. To experienced lumen astronomers, his answer was the expected one.
Yeah,
But I can
maybe.
already hear
That
the
business with the curator.
bleating.
I'm glad Zeb stood down, but it was close. Never seen him so eager for bloodletting before. He's changed. Ain't sure for the better.
No. No, it would
I know you're right. Suppose part of me still feels Well, no use stewing.
Which answers the ancillary mystery of why there are no green stars. To understand all of this, you must understand the basics of thermal divarication emission theory. The typical piece of non-heated matter absorbs most electromagnetic radiation that falls upon it, including light, infrared, and radio emissions.
No.
And the matter reflects only a small portion of
Changed
that
it recently.
radiation.
That shouldn't have happened until next week.
Is its color.
I'm
most
certain I can
stellar
diagnose the
objects
issue.
generate far
Now that you've cleared the way,
radiation than they
I'll come down
absorb.
and join you.
So they can be modeled as an idealized object, which is assumed to absorb 100% of all electromagnetic radiation and re-emit.
I might have something else that can get you into that vault, Commander.
Stellar composition determines what packets of light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines the frequency of light and hence what portion of the spectrum that light is in. Low temperature emission is mostly infrared and not visible to us without proper instrumentation, which I need not describe here. As the stellar body's
Remember those
temperature
components I found?
it's emitted
I was able to turn them, and turns out you were right about trusting my instincts.
into orange, then yellow, then white.
You take the honors, Commander.
Blue stars exist. These are the hottest stars. emitting mostly blue and invisible ultraviolet.
I was hoping for a more subtle incursion, but
I think the listeners could
no matter.
draw this
Am I running hot, or was that a hint of worry I heard in your voice back there?
Alas, I neglected to
It's
pack up the
because
thermometer.
any star emitting green light also emits bluish.
This terminal should allow me to retrieve all the information stored
resulting
here.
in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar green. In fact,
This cannot be right. There's nothing here save the designs for the skip drive. Not even initial concepts. 10 years in Arcadia and the matriarch invented nothing? And what's this about?
No discard, the famous stellar cartography.
Deal with the Earth Directorate. We need to talk. Now.
Was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids.
In times of darkness, we must hold our principles dear. I fear the longer this war continues, the further we stray from them. Every step we take must honor the matriarch. I tell Henry this, but he is set in his ways. His notions regarding these rifts are sorely misguided. Why close them when we can use them to Arcadia's benefit? It matters not what the Order thinks, what the doubters say. The architect bestowed us with the power of skip drives so that we may secure a perfect future. We must act with haste. I only ever wished for Henry to embrace his role as the caretaker of Arcadia, the savior of us all.
Results in a more beige.
But if he has chosen a different path, I will do as I must. And I must not fail.
Stare at the nondescript walls of your library, classroom, or dormitory facility, and exult in the knowledge that
I knew the Protectorate festered with lies. But, Niles.
Slow observe.
It says your agency struck an agreement with the matriarch in exchange for skip drives. Arcadia was allowed to completely govern itself with absolutely no outside interference, including from the Earth Directorate.
What message? Why didn't you say anything?
If this information is true, then the Earth Directorate permitted the matriarch to create a colony filled with her vassals, enslaved to her will. Everything Arcadia is, all the suffering that's taken place here, it all could have been avoided. Things could have been different. There's more. The skip drive schematics are here. How the explosive safeguard. Our dear matriarch is a fraud, a cheat. She did not invent them. I thought I might find some technological innovation that could be handed to the Protectorate's enemies. But this, by releasing this information, we can thoroughly crush. No longer will the Protectorate's myth of superiority be used as a erstwhile. Giving the skip drive designs to the Protectorate's enemies will even the fight. Their technological prowess will be made into nothing. Everything will come apart.
It has become clear that both the large and localized rifts have...
You've some strange notions of fun. Have you? Not to mention how this agreement with the Protectorate will complete...
I was not aware of such a connection between... As for the Earth Directorate, don't you see? This frees them from any obligation to the Protectorate. They'll be able to manufacture skip drives themselves. The deal will be voided.
The localized rifts across Arcadia will also intensify.
It's worth holding the Earth Directorate's feet to the fire for this deal, but I don't think the entire organization, plus making the skip drive tech available, that's like throwing a lit match into a...
Do you think the Protectorate stand around debating the potential for injury? No. They act, and so must we. Damn the consequences.
Further beneficial content soon follows. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
And should I refuse to leave empty-handed? What then?
Whoa. Put the brakes on, Commander. I'm sure Zeb can be reasoned with. I know you're aiming to do the most good for the most amount of people, Zeb.
Do you know how many of my friends died? And you would have me what? Give up now on the cusp of victory? Lay bare my throat for the Protectorate machine to cut? I am listening. Though I suppose I could stand to be a little more receptive. Out of respect for my friend, I will forestall the release of this information and seek another avenue to help liberate the people of Arcadia. I'll remain here for a while longer to cover our tracks. The Protectorate will discover the break-in, but hopefully never...
Guess this is goodbye.
Only for now. If we both come out of this...
I want to talk it over with the commander, but...
Gazing upon the golden spiral, a part that's quite so vital, arcing in a circle motion, giving squares to perfect quotient, 0, 1, 1, and again, 2, 3, 5, and 8, and then 13, 21, not 2, 34, we're counting through. It's Fibonacci.
By my grandmother, I cannot abide the time this research into the rifts is taking. It has been years, and yet I am still absent my wife and daughter. I am still half whole. The researchers
There they
swear
are!
it's possible to bring
These
them
are the
back
ruffians
from
who
the
threaten me. See that they join their friends in the rubble heap.
Replenishing my firearms.
None of these defilers to live.
I know the consul wishes to give up this obsession and focus on the war effort, but why should I?
We've done them in.
Am I not sovereign of Arcadia?
Hey,
Should my desires not take priority?
34, 55, 89, 1, 44, and so on and so forth.
Where'd they get to now? Great was their trespass against us. Through his beneficent guidance.
From ladder above us.
We are duty bound to stop. Carefully, dead.
Transpiring events, philosophical profundities, informed insight into the future, also music.
Come on now. Ammunition against my word. From us. Restoring the balance.
Solve the universal equation. The answers
Can't be too far, I bet. Fitting conclusion.
go on.
Yours.
How does prediction work? The intricacies are much too complex for the layperson to grasp, but that's hardly a satisfying answer.
The Protectorate endures.
Trust Vicar Meg Sci-Sci for a fathomable description that the shallowest value might absorb.
Always happy to illuminate.
Trust the
We
plan.
start with a person's life. Then we perform a standard surface integration of the equation.
For our beneficent leader.
Of an undetermined constant. But by using a single data point from their life event list, that constant, leading to
Maintaining
a simple to use,
perfection.
simple to understand life prediction equation. We can use additional points to not only validate our model, but also to improve its predictive accuracy.
Remain vigilant. Refill this thing. Quarry found.
And there you go. I knew you'd understand. In fact, I predicted it. Until next time, here he's coming.
What
Wrong
happened
place
to
to
me?
be. Flush them. Come on out. So we might. Quarry is gaze
Consistency.
Target.
Wonderful.
Giving chase.
Consistency in playlists
Flush
is
them
not.
out.
Now for a new song.
Careful. Forever vigilant. None. We shall stay their ambitions. Quarry found. Attacking selflessly without complaint.
Take a gander. Questions or addiction? Refill this thing. Replenishing my firearm. Restoring the balance. He would drive us into disarray. Demonstrating requisite metal. Prosperity! Cannot be ever been the good shall come from us. Target reacquired. That's progress.
The latest field data validated and repudiated forecasts for near present and future calculations.
Keep steady eye above. Each a vital cause.
No further than the rift intensification event. It is no great leap to hypothesize the rifts present a level threat. Fascinating. How our Arcadian cohabitators view this energetic phenomenon.
System.
Bit brokers in Anti's perceive the rifts as an exploitable resource once someone figures out how to stabilize them. No great cognitive feat to deduce that someone is us. Meanwhile, those chronic underthinkers in the Protectorate heralding the rifts as a of their vaunted paradigm, inwardly seeking their own means to mitigate their peril. This
Damn it.
is not
Zeb was right. Never should have let that curator go. We could have prevented this.
The Interstitial Reconfiguration Center on Praetor. We remain skeptical of the Protectorate's research, given their lack of any staff academically lettered and duly accredited in the fields of scientism. In fact, it is likely the Rift threat would never have escalated if the Protectorate had simply included us in their research from the outset. And yet we should not dismiss their clumsy attempts outright. Even a stopped chronometer is accurate twice in a daily cycle. Perhaps their efforts were not fraught with error. We have observed reports that a familiar yet regrettably anomalous outlier is a device from the lab capable of controlling and minimizing the rift. If these reports verify, the outlier's next steps bear close scrutiny. A rift-stabilizing device would be most valuable in solving the universal equation. In the interim, we may reliably rely on these airwaves to deliver relevant and well-sourced information about the rift situation.
In closing, a potentially incongruent word of advice. Invariably find a way to turn your negatives into positives.
And now, additional data and/or music determined to facilitate cognition. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
Don't even know where to start with everything that happened in there. At least we were able to talk Zeb out of his plan to release everything we uncovered. I'm all for sowing chaos in the Protectorate, but that kind of information is liable to do more harm than good in the wrong hands. I expect backroom dealing from unregulated corporations, not from the only agency keeping them in check. The Earth Directorate should be better than that. Right. And those stories don't tend to end well for the folks. Permission to speak candid, Commander. Strange as it sounds, this whole experience with Zeb has helped me find it ain't easy having to decide between your allies and protecting untold innocence. It's the damnedest thing. Augustine still owes a debt to us and the rest of the galaxy. Maybe she pays it all someday, and maybe she doesn't. Either way, you were right to give her the chance. That's some shoddy translation. Reckon time will decide the heroes from villains in this tale, but it's gonna be hard to forgive the Earth Directorate for arranging the stage like this in the first place. I'm not saying that. Well, sometimes it feels like I don't know what I should be doing. I'm just cutting wires and hoping for the best. No chance of that. Val's got a fearsome extermination protocol that'll make you glad to walk on two legs. I've given so much to the Earth Directorate already, and hardly felt a return. Should I just keep on? Push through? I know you're right. Deep down, I'm still convinced the galaxy is all said. I appreciate you giving me the space to work through this. Sort of feels like the future's opening back up after a long time closed. Likewise, Commander.
Get to the point and do not vacillate. Get to the point and do not vacillate.
Commander, over here. Commander, wanted to chat with you about the cartridge that ain't heard from Ortiz and... Might well have been If he's spending his hard-earned bits, would you watch the message with me? Suppose I am. He's a good friend of mine, or we otherwise parted ways. If something's wrong... True. Thanks, Commander.
Focus. Drink Maxima alcohol-free liquor.
The other brands may be 80 proof, but ours